Bird of Prey 5. El Karuga. Kapla. Kapla.
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Karuga. That's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
If you come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. If you're here to make war, we surrender.
Both good. The important thing is I'm meeting new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's gonna be under one roof. You're gonna run it like a business. That means you're gonna make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Bird of Prey 5 channel. Hail Karoga.
Hello world, it's Bird of Prey 5, Kupla. Welcome to Bed Life for March 20th, 2023. It is Monday, aka Alien Abduction Day. I'm not joking. There's actually Alien Abduction Day, and it is today. So let's celebrate all the channel members, subscribers, and looky-loos who have ever been abducted by aliens. Will all the abductees please put a 1 in the chat? If you've been abducted, please put a 1 in the chat. By aliens, mind you. If you've been abducted by, Mexican drug cartels or a cult, that doesn't count. Okay? Only if you're abducted by aliens from outer space. Please, a 1 in the chat. And LDG, of course. LDG looks like a man who's been probed in that most unfortunate of ways. And Words and Pictures and Mr. CCDV. Wow, we got a lot of abductees today. Okay, my heart goes out to you guys. You guys know the truth. You guys know E.T. isn't only here and phoning home. He is probing us. And I don't think we should fight him. I don't think we should fight the aliens. Truth be told, I think they're way more powerful than us. So it's with some regret that I just suggest that you guys continue to take the probing and deal with it best you can, because I don't think we could win. I don't think we could win a war to stop it. So I don't know why they've chosen you guys, but you'll- listen, maybe you'll have special powers when it's all over with. So, anyway, it's National Alien Abduction Day. And I'll be honest, I suspected, well, you wouldn't have had any abductees in my small channel, but maybe the problem is bigger than we thought. Anyway, not Ryan Johnson was first in the chat. Says hello in Kapla. Hail Karoga. Hail Karoga. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says Kapla Bird. Bird won't be here at the beginning, but I will try to catch the end. P.S. I identify as being first. Well, sorry, not Ryan Johnson. Gorilla identifies as being first. Not Ryan Johnson says Bird of Prey has abducted aliens. Again, what interrogations will he have with these abductees? You really don't want to know. I'm not abducting the abductees. Words and Pictures has got Bird of Prey, those poor aliens. They traveled the universe, ended up in Karoga, abducted and being probed by Karogan scientists. Listen, Words and Pictures, it's like this. You're either the one doing the probing or the one being probed. Which one would you rather be? Richie Poole says Kapla, Richie. Jedi Bill says Kapla, Brother Warrior, Birdo Prey 5. And all should hail Karoga. Thank you, Jedi Bill. Absolutely. Mr. CCDV says, I went into Iraq this day 20 years ago. I can't participate with you. Have a great day. Well, I see you have already participated, Mr. CCDV. And by the way, I did catch your stream earlier. I wasn't there live, but I watched part of it, and I would like to thank you for your service, Mr. CCDV. And in all seriousness, as a reminder to everyone, 20 years ago today was the start of Operation Iraqi Freedom. It was what we considered the Iraq War, or depending on our age, the second Iraq War. And yes, the coalition, mostly United States troops, began the invasion of Iraq 20 years ago today. And although the invasion went fairly quick, they got to Baghdad fairly quick, the operation went officially into 2011 before they officially ended it. And even then, as we all know, it wasn't over, and tens of thousands of soldiers injured, crippling injuries, serious injuries, and many, many more than that, with the mental anguish of having been there, having seen friends die and be injured in front of them. And this country was not ready for the return of these heroes, veterans who were called to put their lives on the line for us, and we failed them when they got back. The VA system we had in place, utterly overwhelmed, if it was even ever made for, we probably wasn't made for what they were returning with. And it's very sad that it took, and some would say it's still not, but I think it's better now than it's ever been. in dealing with the particularly the mental stresses of returning from a war like that. I again, Mr. CCDB, you have my respect, and for anybody who fought in Iraq or anywhere else, thank you. And back to the stream, of course. John Araki says, abducted by aliens. No, the president of Karoga will be arrested on Tuesday by New York City authorities for hush money payments related to the demise of the salty vampire. Get out and protest, you all. Hashtag leave bird garbage. No. First off, if I was to be arrested on Tuesday and I still had a passport, I would get the hell out of here. Unless I thought the arrest was warranted. Okay, then I would stand trial. But if I thought that this was a bad faith arrest, that was just some type of political scheme, that I wasn't going to get a fair trial, I'd get the hell out of the country and say, come get me, bitches. Now what are you going to do? Anyway, John Araki with a $1 super chat. Thank you, John Araki. Hashtag trust no one. That means trust everyone if you're Captain Picard. John DeMarco says greetings to everyone. Greetings, John. LDG Free the Net says Bird was having so much fun in the underground he was almost late. Luckily, we were able to wake him up. No, that is hashtag fake news. Yvette says good evening, Bird, and everyone. Good evening to the lovely Yvette. Words and Pictures says I'm oops. You're an oops, if you say so. Jedi Bill calls me late Opry 5. LDG, hashtag free the net, reminds everybody to speed up to 2x speed so you get even more live than live on YouTube. The Random Menace is greetings from the future. Greetings, future man. Kronos, hey, Kronos says, hey, hashtag all O pray. Where is rant O pray 5? Well, I'm sure there might be a rant or two coming. You never know. But if we talk about Star Trek Picard or who knows what, we'll see. Can't force a rant. It's much better when they happen naturally. Yvette says, hey to Slug and Words. And Kronos says, hey back to Yvette. And Yvette says, hey to Yosef. Captain Fandom Nerd says, hello, Berto 5 Cup Flaw, Captain Fandom Nerd. Hope you're doing well. 47 Yorktown says, hello, young sir, and puts in 3 UFO emojis. The truth is out there. Yvette says, hey to Bill. Mr. CCDV says, joke off if you can't take a F blank CK. Joke off if you can't take it. I think I agree. Deej Odyssey says, greetings all. The dingo ate the baby. Welcome, Deej. And yes, last night, Nephew O'Prey purchased a Father's Day gift for Deej. And it was all great fun. A good time was had by all. Kronos says, hey to Fandom O'Prey. Yvette says, bonjour to 47, and Kronos says, hey to 47, and everyone else. Deej Odyssey says, what's up to the Kronos Trekker? Yvette says, hey, Deej, did you get my message? And Kronos says, hail to Dax O'Prey. Deej says, let me check Discord. I hardly ever look over there. Captain Fandom Nerd says, hello to Deej. Says, hey, back. Kronos says, Deej, your member berries at Discord. What is Discord? And then we had LDG and Words and CCDV admit they had been abducted. Chronos says beep boop. John Araki says 2 + 2 = 5. No, math is hard. Chronos asks about illegals, not illegals, aliens. Aliens. Never mind, says Chronos. Stanley says, I'm on a ship right now. The alien ship has Wi-Fi. This is a breaking news. Alien ship have Wi-Fi thanks to Starlink. Thank you, Elon Musk. Now aliens have Wi-Fi. Kronos says, hey to Stan O'Prey. Miss Londell's Groovy Movie says LDG is an alien. That's very possible. Kronos says, hey to Iraqi O'Prey. Stanley says, they offered to probe, so I figured I'd stick around. Yeah, you're going to get the bill for that probe. It's not fun. You think this probing is free. It's not free. They charge for these probing. You're going to charge your insurance. If you don't have insurance, you have to pay out of pocket. It's a giant mess. Yvette says she does the, Deej, excuse me. Deej says I do the abducting. And Yvette says, Bird, I am an alien. I'm here to help. Oh boy. Chrono says robots can't be probed. It depends on the robot. Like a Picard robot can be probed. So I've heard. Jedi Bill says hey to Deej. And John Araki says sup to Kronos. Although he calls him Crony. Words and Pictures says the truth is out there. Well, it is. It is. Good old X-Files. You remember the good old days when X-Files was on TV? I remember the X-Files season finale where he put an X on a window and shined the light behind it as it was his way of making contact with the guy who knew all the secrets. And George Takei donated George Takei donated $1.49 and says, you like probing, guys? Oh my. Thank you, George Takei, for your generous donation. I personally do not like probing guys, but I know there are some guys out there who enjoy it. And thank you for giving us the lovely eyebrow dax with that very suspiciously worded super chat. Yeah, so the X-Files episode, it was the season finale. And the first thing I did after watching it was take some masking tape and put an X in my bedroom window, which faced the street. And it sat there. The X sat up in the masking tape until the season started. And I finally took it down like 4 months later. Nobody noticed. Nobody asked about it. I thought, oh, this would be like all the X-Files fans were going to go to their front window and do the same thing. No, nobody else did it. I was the only person in the entire country that I could tell that went and put masking tape in an X on their window. Deej Odyssey says, hey to Bill. John Araki says, hashtag ignore Kronos. And Yvette with the £2 sterling super chat says, fingers crossed for kissing Dax for you all. Oh, thank you so much, Yvette. Let's see. We will see. Deej says, hey to Bill. Yes, it's ignore. Senator Vinak. It's a fake. It's a fake, but it's a very good fake, as fakes go. Deej says, he says, but I only probe the females. Yvette says the triple X-Files. Yes, that was an adult parody of the X-Files. Not one I've ever seen, of course, but I've heard it mentioned. Words and Pictures says, hey, Kronos. And Kronos says, what is a female Deej? A pink bunny. Greg Stasser, kapla, Greg. Greg, are you raising your hand? You have a question, or are you just hailing Karoga? Either way, welcome. If you have a question, by all means, feel free to ask. Jedi Bill says, oh gosh, it's Kronos here. Stanley says, of course not. Nobody would be able to walk straight. The Random Menace says, Mamo Pray, I think Bird's medication is not well set up. I don't know why he doesn't think it's well set up, but I'm just reading it. I'm just the messenger. John Araki says, we haven't had a lot of on-air red alert from the bed in ages. Thank God, because this is a new bed. I mean, it's now a couple of years old, but we had to replace the bed. In fact, earlier today, they put in not in this room, but in the basement, which is like directly under me, they put in an alarm to detect natural gas leaks. And God forbid there was a natural gas leak, that alarm would light up and make noise and say, evacuate, evacuate. And yeah, Mom afraid doesn't ever want to hear, because we would have no quick way to evacuate. Although I guess we could open the garage door and it's right there, so it would at least air out. But yeah. I don't know how we'd even hear it though, because the garage is like cinder blocked off from the house. Hopefully it never becomes an issue. Kronos says, hey to Sith O'Prey. Sith Bill O'Prey. And hey to Yosef. Deej says, Kronos, the ones with an innie and not a dangly part between the legs. LDG at hashtag free the net says, Prometheus is really a chip they put in me from a probing that will one day sprout out into the world and assimilate everyone. I don't think so. I don't think so. Kronos says, hey to Grego Prey. Jedi Bill says, hey to Yvette. Kronos says, Deej, what if they are a transformer? Deej says, then they can get dumped off on Venus. Jedi Bill says, hello to Mr. CCTV. Kronos says, Karoga is a giant spaceship? Question mark? No. Hey, Salty Tracker. Wait, what did Bird just say, that he likes probing guys? I said no such thing. And JP's, Kapla JP's, with a $10 Canadian super chat, says, organic minds are such a fragile thing. Organic minds are such a fragile thing. Oh, yes. Yes, as compared to like the hard SSD or even a metal encased floppy disk drive. Organic minds, they're so squishy, so easy to destroy. It's unfortunate. And JP's gets the fleet of Jem'Hadar ships being chased by the Defiant and a Klingon, Fertile Prey. Kronos says, hey to Salty O'Prey. No, he's not Salty O'Prey. Captain Phantom Nerds says, Bird, you want to probe aliens? No, I don't want to probe aliens, but sometimes it's necessary. Greg Stasser says, abducting them would put them back in shock and you could get real information from them. Exactly. Like, how do their ships work? You know, what dimension are they from? Why? You know, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll pop? Questions we can't answer today. Words and Pictures puts a heart out from Mr. CCDV. Kronos says, Salty Tracker, you can't play any more Diablo 4, so you have to be here. That's it. Diablo 4 ends and Salty has to come here. Stanley says, yeah, the Iraq War, I still think about Desert Storm. What I still think, I have two things I think about Desert Storm. The first was the very night that it started, that, CNN was on and you saw the tracer fire over Baghdad, and you had these reporters in hotels, and the first time we were seeing these reports of attacks going on in Baghdad as they were happening. And I was legit scared. I was a kid. I was legit scared. Dad O'Prey is there watching the news. He's like, this is history in the making. He would say that when something big was happening. He would say, this is history in the making. We saw history in the making during the Baghdad, that first night. He used history in the making to describe the earthquake that hit during the World Series. And I don't know. Those are the two times I remember him saying it. He said it before, but those two stand out. But anyway, for the Gulf War, that was that first night. Then, of course, just for all I never was into trading cards, but for some reason, they had Desert Storm trading cards. Those I wanted. Like, those were the ones and I still have them. I still have a whole bunch of Desert Storm trading cards. I know I got my Storm and Norman Schwarzkopf trading card, and a bunch of others. And 205 just donated $1.49. Says, happy equinox, everybody. Kapla 205. Yes, I think we just hit the vernal equinox. And by the way, 205 got the happy baby. The happy baby. Oh, poor baby Charlie. He was so tiny, and now he's this little man, talking and counting. I talked to him yesterday, and also quite apt at using the computer to make purchases. But anyway, so Desert Storm, besides the trading cards, we got another super chat. Bird's Inner Thoughts donated $1.49 and says, ha ha, I have them fooled. They think I do not like probing. If they only knew that my geologia machine was what I just consider probing practice. Yummy, yummy. That's good stuff. Oh, thank you. Another lovely eyebrow dash. An alien just donated $2.49 and says, please do not probe. No, please no probe me. Don't worry. Not gonna probe you, alien. Anyway. The other memory of the Gulf War was one night Mom O'Prey was driving in a car with myself and one of my school friends, Jabin. And for whatever reason, we had like a child's what's that called? Not called a loud horn. No, not a loudspeaker. Bullhorn. Like a child's bullhorn. A toy bullhorn. But it still worked. Like, it still made your voice louder. And Javen was using it, and the back window of the car was open, and he kept saying, he's like, the Iraqis are coming, get your homes, leave your homes, get to the hills, the Iraqis are coming. as she was driving around Canarsie, Brooklyn. I just thought it was hysterical. One of the what it was to grow up in the 80s and 90s. It made things that made you laugh. The Iraqis are coming. Anyway. Cronus's bird is graced by Salty's appearance and won't see it for another 11 hours. I saw it. Salty says he lurks on bird streams quite a bit. I believe him. Greg Stasser says Desert Storm era had some good MREs. I think the MREs actually was a Desert Storm trading card. It was an MRE trading card. It had also like the different planes being used, the different people. Of course, I had my Saddam Hussein. I had my George H.W. Bush, but Stormin' Norman, I think he was the best trading card of the set. Kronos is technically one doesn't type while lurking. Oh, that is true. That is true. He's made the step from lurker to participant. Kronos is bird of prey. Inquiring minds want to know what? Oh. Kronos asks, where is Mamo Prey? Does she have an alien abduction tale o' prey to tell?
No, I have never been alien.
Mamo Prey is here. She's in the area, but she says she has never been abducted by aliens. Technically, she said she's never been alien abducted, but I believe it's the same thing. No alien abduction tales from Mamo Prey. Dork Knight LV donated $1.49 and says, true story. One night while I was drinking and got high, while I was drinking a lot and high, I know it's hard to believe, I picked up this chick and took her back to my room and probed her, and it turned out to be Bird of Prey 5. I can't walk right after that night. Somehow, I just don't think that's Dark Knight. And it's also hashtag fake news. But another happy baby. Man, with all these donations, we should have had like 3 kissing Daxes already. Somebody's having some very bad luck. And I would suspect it's me. Because we could have had at least 3 kissing Daxes by now. Kronos says, I thought the mines of Kuroga were underground. They are. That's why the orphans don't really get abducted. Kronos says, Bird, I can't wait till Wednesday and Thursday. Well, Wednesday is Enterprise Wednesday. Thursday is the next episode of Picard. And oh my God, I really hope I can do my review. Hope it's less than an hour and 40 minutes like this last one. But I'll be honest, this most recent review, the hour and 40-minute plus review, actually hit for briefly the #1 video status on my channel, the most viewed video in a while. And then my second review, my 5 nitpick reviews, also hit #1. But then when I had to do Twilight Zone, it kind of kicked it out. And it never really fully recovered after that. But it's fine. It's out there. It got some views. I'm happy. Yeah, Thursday I will do my best. Now, listen, there's always a chance that this episode's a great episode, and that's my review, but we'll see. I just, at this point, I find it hard to believe. JP's with a $5 Canadian super chat says, herpes Dax, that's unfair, JPs. There's no herpes dax. I'm sure whatever looks like a herpes rash is just her alien makeup. And oh my God, poor JPs. Salty Tracker with $1.49 again says, I finally come around. Strange New Worlds is just as horrible as Discovery. Oh, wow. Salty Tracker has finally seen the light. I'm starting to believe, though, that might not be salty for that last comment. But if it is, congratulations, Salty. What made you see the light? LDG says this Sunday, you can watch yours truly suffering while your friends Gorilla and Resolute watch The Matrix 4. Ouch. That does sound like suffering. That's almost as bad as watching Indiana Jones 4. Kronos says hashtag bring back Pool. Richie Pool is welcome to come by. I think he's just busy. Kronos says illegals, same difference. And Kronos says LDG is an AI, not an alien. Well, it remains to be proven what he is. Words and Pictures says Yvette missed you, and hey, alo, Yvette. And Kronos asks, is Deej is Yvette? I highly doubt it. I mean, granted, I've never seen Deej and Yvette in the same room at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
There it is, Kissing Dax. Thank you so much, 205. 205 says, I am happy with the extra long director bird cuts of your reviews. Keep them coming. Thank you so much, 205. I know at least you are happy with them. Actually, quite a few people seem happy with them, which seriously surprises me. But, oh man, look at that. Look at that kiss. Man, I had a dream. I had a dream where I was kissing somebody. And man, I think that watching that Kissing Dax over and over again, I think it helped my technique. But we'll get to that later. Hakeem says hey to Kronos, who says hey back. And Hakeem says, good evening, Bird and all. Kapla, Hakeem. And LDG with a $2 super chat says, more Kissing Dax, LDG. You know the chances of getting Kissing Dax on a super chat are way low. I mean, I hope you get it. And Alien donated $1.49. Alien says,
Live long and prosper.
Alien says, we have a missing faulty AI. Would you return it if found? It responds to Kronos. Oh, Kronos. Kronos is an alien AI. And LDG gets a video from The Way to Eden. It would have been nice for some Kissing Dax, but not today, LDG. Not today. Yvette says hello again to Words and Pictures. Kronos says, how did Sulu get a daughter? Well, you know what they say, Kronos. When something's important enough, you make the time. And also, maybe he adopted. Just by chance, he adopted an Asian girl that kind of looks like him. Kronos is big money, and no. Stop. No Kissing Dax. Kronos says, it's a steak. No ketchup on steak, says Kronos. 47 Yorktown says, bonjour to Captain Fandom Nerd, and bonjour to Yvette, and a howdy to Kronos. Deed says, I've seen the Sex Files adult movie. Instead of the X Files, the Sex Files. And Kronos says, the truth is in there. That's probably That's probably what it says. Agent Mulder and Scully fighting crime and also fighting the passionate love they have for each other. They're going to crack a case, but they're in a motel room, and the government has decided they have to share a room because, budget cuts. And, bada boom, bop, bomb. Anyway, then the guy they were chasing happens to jump through the motel window just as, they're climaxing. So they all get into it, and then they arrest him. That's the Sex Files on Fox. Yeah, just have to say on Fox. That's perfectly fine. Yvette says, Bird, for God's sake, don't fart anymore. That alarm won't stop. I don't think it's that type of gas. Kronos says, hey to Tabernac. Oh, pray. Deed says, hashtag Bird likes to probe big bun brain aliens. Cody Guy waves. Kronos is Tootsie Rolls and probing Bird. Kronos says, hey to Cody O'Prey. Deed says, what up to Cody? Kronos is racist towards bugs. Are you doing your part? There, Kronos says, would you like to know more? Starship Troopers, one of the all-time great movies. JP says, Lowell trading cards for a war, only in America. It was our patriotic duty. Do you remember the Gulf War? People used to put up yellow ribbons. That was how we showed our patriotism and our love for the people who were quote unquote fighting that war. And yet when the second Gulf War came, not a single yellow ribbon did I ever see. There were US flags all over the place. Not a single yellow ribbon. I mean, this was like, 10 years earlier. Did everybody forget about yellow ribbons? Why didn't we have a single yellow ribbon? My entire fucking neighborhood had yellow ribbons. Every tree had a yellow ribbon during the Gulf War. During the Iraq War, which was like Gulf War 2.0, not a single yellow ribbon. The multi-gunman says, Bird, hey Bird, how's it going? Bird, it's going well, multi-gunman. How are you? Well enough, let's say that. Kronos says, hey to multi-O'Prey. You can't just put O'Prey at the end of everybody's name, Kronos. Deed says, multi-gunman is banned. Multi-gunman says, today is Karogan Abduction Day. When are you streaming again? Asked Captain Phantom Nerd to Deej. And Deej says, probably tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. Tuesday. Mom O'Prey might give me the out of date. I don't know. What do we have that's out of date? Out of date pickle jar. No, we don't. We don't have out of date pickles. Kronos is Captain Fandom Nerd. I've been asking that question. You actually got an answer. Deed says he's unbannable, but unable to be kicked out of the house, apparently. Kronos' salty trekker sounds creepy. Yes, it makes he's stalking me. The multi-gunman says, Deej, sounds like trouble. Deej says, last night's Jackbox game. Deej says, games like Big Brother, though most of the times I got evicted. Oh, that's right. Yeah, we played a game. Did I play that game or did I just watch? Yeah, no, I played that game. And we had to vote somebody to get kicked out of the house. And so I voted for Deej because everybody else I would have felt too bad for. Deej says, I'm not banned. I'm still here, but at least I haven't been unwrenched yet today. That wasn't me. Kronos says Richie should be here. He should. Maybe he's busy. The Random Menace, a serious question. How do lactose intolerant people deal with the fact we live in the Milky Way? They go into their own bubble. They become a bubble boy. Moxley fans, is Bird of Prey. Okay, I finally made it. Kapla Bird. Hope you and the family are doing well today. Hope you're doing well, Moxley. It was good to see you on DJ's Jackbox game last night. The Multi-Gun Man says the Random Menace, good to see you. Moxley fans is we, the people. Deej says hey to Moxley. Moxley says hello to everyone. Kronos is the Random Menace. I thought the Milky Way was a candy bar. It is a candy bar. It's also where we live. Deed says the Random Menace because it's soy milky. Oh, God. It's the soy Milky Way. Random Menace is Multi-Gun Man. Greetings to Canada. Random Menace is lolling a Deej. Kronos says don't salute Canada. The Multi-Gun Man says the Random Menace is here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and he's all out of bubblegum. Kronos likes blaming Canada. 47 Yorktown is laughing at hashtag 2-hour Picard review. Kronos says this is getting annoying. The system is rigged. It's not rigged. It's just bad. Poor chances today. The Multi-Gun Man says kissing Dax is one step away from tranny Dax. Says I'll pass. I'm not into that kind of shit. Wow. That's too bad, Multi-Gun Man. You don't know what you're missing. Kronos will pass on Matrix 4. And Kronos says Bird loves the Crystal Skull. And Moxley says Matrix 4 sucked. Well, that's why I didn't watch it. Kronos says it should have ended at 3 and woohoo. Multi-Gun Man says, does Dax have... No, she doesn't. Kronos says LDG is into gambling. Moxley says kissing Dax. Oh yeah, kissing Dax. Kronos says aliens can be space hippies. They can on TOS. Deej Odyssey says Crystal Skull for bird and emoji. Kronos says life will find a way. Yes, life will find a way. Remember, Jurassic Park was about a bunch of lesbian dinosaurs that found a way to make babies. The Multi-Gun Man says, Deej, I see what you did there. Nice. Kronos says, I'm wondering how long those emojis took. Deej says, forever with these hands to try to type and use. Kronos says, lazy hands are evil hands. The Multi-Gun Man says, Bird is complaining because the Americans didn't have yellow Karogan ribbons. Jedi Bill says, remember the Alamo, Bird of Prey 5. I remember. Well, I wasn't there for it, but I remember the Alamo. I remember that's where Pee-wee's bike was, in the basement of the Alamo. Until he got there and found out there was no basement. It was all a dirty lie. You were too good for this world, Pee-wee Herman. I don't think he's dead, but he did get into a little trouble for something he did in a movie theater, an adult theater, where I thought they were all adults, so it's not like it's something they haven't seen before. God knows if they're going to an adult theater, it's probably what they were paying to see anyway. He should have been paid for his time, let alone arrested. The fuck? Getting arrested for indecent exposure in a movie that's full of indecent exposure? How do you arrest somebody for that? You're literally seeing it on the screen. It's in 4K and in 20-foot bigger than life proportions right in front of you. Should have had a better lawyer. Kronos says, hey to Sean O'Prey. The lovely Sherry says, Kapla and good day to you, Kapla, the lovely Sherry. Kronos says hey to Sherry O'Prey, who says hello back to Kronos. Kronos says bring up the song. And Deej goes, Sherry, Sherry, baby. I can't sing. You know I can't sing. We all know I can't sing. Kronos says, what's the name of that band? Deej. A hug for Deej from the lovely Sherry. The multi-gunman says, Deej, I am not your baby. Quit calling me Sherry. Kronos says, apparently I must be a caveman. Jedi Bill says, LDG Pickles, you are out of date. Jedi Bill says hello to the lovely Sherry. Lovely Sherry says, hey to multi-gunman, and good to see you, Bill. And the multi-gunman smiles. The lovely Sherry. Frono says, we all live in a candy bar. Oh, the diabetes. Low Specs Linux Laptop is in the house. Cuplaw, Low Specs Linux Laptop, and Linux Laptop, Low Specs. Wow. Low Specs Linux Laptop. You have earned yourself a wrench, sir, or ma'am. I assume it's a sir, but either way, feel free to put in a link anytime you want. Chrono says, hey to Low O'Prey. I think Bert is catching up. Need more typing. No, I've caught up pretty much. Chrono says, poor Pee-wee. The multi-gunman says, Carogan Theaters, everyone does what Pee Wee Herman did in that theater. Enter at your own risk. Sing it, says Kronos. Deej says, don't hate on Pee Wee. He's the only one in Hollywood that got in trouble for keeping his hands to himself. Jedi Bill says hello to Low Specs Linux Laptop. And Kronos says, someone got wrenched. Yes. Low Specs Linux Laptop. Brandon, the anime guy, says Bird Kapla. Brandon, the anime guy, welcome. Hope you are doing well. Multi-minutes, except for that one time, the Deej Odyssey stream. And Brandon, the anime guy, says, I have a story for you. Kapla all. Well, it'll be interesting, Brandon. LDG says Wordle. Okay, yes, Wordle. Wordle was a shitstorm, basically, is what LDG is saying. Okay, let's, while we figure out what's going on next, I will do Wordle. So the first person to put in a 5-letter word for me to do Wordle, that's the Wordle, that is the word I will start with. Let's get Wordle up and ready to go. Okay. Kapla I can't use, it's not a real word. I'll try it, but I'm sure, yeah, not in the word list. So there's no Kapla. Zoob. LDG puts in Zoob. Zoobe. Is that a word? Not in the word list, thankfully. Indeed puts in penis. Of course he does. Of course he does. We have an E. Great. We've got an E in the wrong place. Let's see. I blame BLAME. I blame Deej for giving me the word penis. And okay, we got the L and the E in the right space. Let's see. Okay, we know it's not an A or an I. We've got an E. What else we have? O or U. So there's got to be at least one more vowel. It's either another E, an O, or a U. We know there's an L. So what comes before L? P. There can't be P. It can't be B. Let's see. It's not an L. K. No, it's not a K. C. C-L. What do we got? Clove. Cleaver. Clap. Clape. Claire. No. Chlor. Clear. E-R-E. No. Cleave. Cleave. Oh, okay. We got a V. We got a V. And there's no E. There's no second E. There's no second E. Okay. So what else? What other letter comes before L? QL, no. WL, RL, TL, YL, UL, O, a leave, a lab. Okay, so it's not A, E, I, O, so it's O or U. You love. You love? No. Okay, so it's not you. Ooh love, oh love, do you love, the love, flove, flove, glove, love, jlove, clove, the loaf, zlove, exlove. Fuck. Okay, that could be a U. Cloove, wloove, wloove, tloove, Yulve, Yulve, Oluve, Deluve, Fluve, Fluve, Gluve, 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 Jaluve, Aluve, Zaluve. Fuck. Okay. X, L, X, V, E. Okay. It's probably an O. It's probably an O. Love. 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 You love. To love. Love. Glove. 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 Yeah. Glove. Love. We still got three. We still got three tries. Glove it is. Yes. Glove in 4. Suck it. Suck it. Fucking penis to glove. Oh. God damn it. I thought they were completely unrelated, but now I realize there's some relation. LDG with a $2 super chat says you're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Yes, Mamo Frey.
It's funny that this should happen just then.
It's funny
Who's
this
been
should
holding up the
happen.
damn elevator?
Last night,
What?
Joseph's clue.
Oh, what was Joseph's clue?
I said, it's not a sock, but it goes on another extremity. And of course, I started to laugh.
Joseph's clue was it's not a sock, but it goes on another extremity.
Right. So
So Mamo Frey, of course, laughed.
I laughed because first thing I thought it was penis.
Because
But-
first thing she thought of was penis.
And
Oh my God.
but then I put glove. I knew it was glove. Because
Then you knew it
he
was
didn't-
love.
He didn't say it was an extremity. He said it went on an extremity.
That's it going on an extremity.
Right, so I had glove in one, but I thought it was only my sick mind. And then I hear you guys.
So thank you, Mama Fraser. She thought it was only her sick mind. Now she knows she's not alone. Brandon, the anime guy, with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Brandon. Says, here is the story. Let me take off Wordle for a second. Here is the story. Had a choice between buying Star Wars in 4K or Star Trek the motion picture in 4K. This was easy. Star Trek the motion picture in 4K. I cannot wait to watch it. Also from peen to glove. Wah ha 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 ha. Well, I too would have chosen Star. In fact, I did. I bought Star Trek the motion picture in 4K, even though it's my least favorite of the original series movies. Even I prefer 5 to the motion picture. But that said, there's just some shots in the motion picture that can't be beat. They have yet to be equaled. They have yet to be equaled even today. Even with all the money they spent in Star Trek Picard and some very beautiful shots in Star Trek Picard, and even for the disaster that Star Trek Discovery is, there have been some beautiful shots in there, specifically with the Enterprise and Strange New Worlds. They've only been, none of them have yet to beat the motion picture. Thank you so much, Brandon, the anime guy. Okay, let's go back up and see what went on while I was doing Wordle. I'm not going to read every chat. Deej puts in penis. The multi-gunman puts in the F word, but that I'm sure would not have been taken as a word. The Traveler, welcome, Wes. Or, excuse me, no longer Wes. You are the Traveler. Put in horse. Kronos' bird is the Wordle. Moist, says the lovely Sherry. Bacon, says Hakeem. Probe, says 47 Yorktown. Booby, says Dr. Scotty. All of those would have been better than penis. Kronos says, hey to the Traveler. The Traveler really wanted me to do horse. Multi-Gunman puts in supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I don't think he gets how it works. Kronos says, hey to Scotty O'Prey. Deej says, hey, at least I didn't say boobs this time. Kronos says, wow, this live stream just degenerated nicely. Jedi Bill says, how many guns does the multi-gunman have? That's a good question. Kronos wanted me to put in vulva. At least I would have got the V from the beginning. Captain Phantom Nerd says, what's new to Kronos? The multi-gunman says, it's a bearded claim bird. You mean clam? Deej says, the lovely Sherry, you in the nun outfit is strangely turning me on. I would like to see this nun outfit. Chrono says, yeah, I should I be surprised? Lovely Sherry is smiling at Deej. Stanley says, flake, question mark. Chrono says, wow. Stanley says, not a sorry, no a sorry. Chrono says, tell us more. The lovely Sherry says, glove. Flake says, Deej. Chrono says, clove. Deej says, it's glove. Sherry got it. Brandon, the anime guy, says F, L, or C. Yes. Gorilla says, time for chipmunk mode. Yes, 2x speed to catch up. The multi-gunman says, bird of prey. The word you're looking for is supercalifragilistic. expialidocious. Kronos says, hey to Godzilla, oh pray. LDG says, OMG. That's not even a word, says Kronos. LDG says, shoot me. Please shoot me. I think you have people lining up. There are people lining up to shoot you, LDG. What order would you like? Smallest gun first or biggest gun first? Deed says glove, G-love. G-love? What does that mean, G-love? Kronos says feel better, LDG. LDG says I hurt. This is painful. Sherry says, gee, stop it, bird, says LDG. The multi-gunman says the Krogan educational system isn't what it used to be. Well, Jedi Bill says this is hilarious. I don't understand. Kronos is lolling. Brandon says Bulba. Kronos says the love. I was going through the letters. Obviously, I didn't think they were words. I was just trying the different letters out and going through my brain to see if any of them sounded like words. The random menace says gloof. Cody Guy lolls. Lovely Sherry says, yay, got it. LDG says, good man to Deej. Sean Carter says, low bird, you said it earlier, but you said, oh, you said glove. I guess I did. I went through all the letters a couple of times. Mamo Prey is confirming it. So you heard me say it.
Yes, I think that's what it started.
Oh, that's when you started coughing. You were holding back a laugh. I see. Even Mamo Prey was laughing at me. Jedi Bill says that was more like 45. Bird of Prey. Kronos says Sherry is smirt. The lovely Sherry says, I like words. Is that like I like math? I like words. Kronos is lolling at Mamo Prey. Words and pictures says if you use a glove, it's like a friend doing it. Kronos is a lovely Sherry, dang multilinguists. Brandon, the anime guy, is the lovely Sherry, the mistress of memes in the nun outfit. Kronos says Mamo Prey has a naughty mind, who knew? Deed says great minds think alike. Brandon, the anime guy, says we have the naughty mind at times. We all have naughty minds at times. Sean Carter says, Brandon, you're gonna love it. Kronos says, naughty minds want to know. Words and pictures says, Mamo Prey, oh no, the room's full of people who think that. Kronos says, Star Trek V is pure evil. Oh no, Kronos. Brandon, the anime guy, says, wow, I would not have guessed. Kronos says the motion picture is good. Brandon says the motion picture is his favorite. The random menace says TMP in 4K is boring in UHD. I do find it a boring story. Don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful, beautiful space folk pictures of the Enterprise, but everything else is boring. Brandon cannot wait to see this. Kronos says, you have babies in space. You can have babies in space. Brandon says, money can't buy me a great movie. Sean Carter says, the 4K version with updated FX and the inclusion of minor background sound effects makes tremendous difference. Low Specs Linux Laptop says, the motion picture is good. We didn't mind a slow pace back then. Love the extended scene of Enterprise porn. The multi-gunman says, Bird of Prey, have to go now. Have a good day. Take care, multi-gunman. Brandon says, absolutely, the Low Specs Linux Laptop. Kronos says, V. Ginny was good in the motion picture. The multi-gunman says, have a good day, everyone. Bye for now. Take care, multi-gunman. Brandon, the anime guy, says, it's been forever, Bird of Prey. Hope you're doing all right. Well, Brandon, I've had my ups and my downs over the last couple of years. Knocking wood,
Kathy, go.
doing a bit okay, a bit better today. We'll see how long that lasts. Kronos' bird is skipping chats, cheater, only a few. Deej is saying see ya to the multi-gun man. Kronos is missing the days of shutting up Wesley. Deej says vulva, you would have got the V and the L. True. Kronos is none for me. N-U-N, none for him. Deed says the only kind of meat I eat on Fridays is none. Har, har, har. Sean Carter says the Captain Phantom Nerd. Hale, I saw you sub to me when you were looking for the modeling channel. If so, it's the sci-fi model guy. Cool. Gorilla's Random Thought says, damn, I missed a really fun chat at the beginning. Kronos says, Gorilla's Random Thoughts, but you're here now. Brandon says, hail to Deej, to Kronos, to the multi-gunman, to the lovely Sherry, the Random Menace, the Traveler, a low specs Linux laptop, Sean Carter. Always great to see you all. And, Kronos says, LDG was having wordle pains. Not many words start with an X. Yes, but John DeMarco, in the video he posted today, Star Trek A to Z, he managed to find a Star Trek character whose name started with X. It's actually a very, very difficult thing to do, but he did it. And then to be absolutely sure it started with X, he gave us the proof that it started with X. Kronos' lowell bird has nobody that loves them. I know, Kronos. It's very cruel. I'm completely unloved.
No, you're not.
Oh,
I love you.
Mom Frey loves me.
Charlie loves you.
Charlie doesn't know what love is. He only loves his mommy at this point. And it's only because she gives him food. Sean Carter says the motion picture is my favorite too. It's slow and it's a rehash of other stories, but it's a way of pulling me in and feels more like real and less sci-fi. Kronos says it's been a long road. Thomas Potts says TNG movies are out in 4K on April 4th. Well, you know why it's not out on April 1st. Everyone would have thought it was a joke. The only TNG movie I could see getting in 4K is First Contact. Kronos says, hey to Potts O Prey, who says, hey to Kronos. Kronos says, that's Kronos of Prey to you. Jedi Bill says it was V'ger Kronos. Thomas Potts says, hey to Deej. Jedi Bill. The Random Menace is the motion picture is indeed beautiful and boring, with the most epic soundtrack ever made for a Trek movie. Ilea's theme gives me chills every fucking time. Yeah. Ilea. And Kronos says yay to First Contact. Okay, so let's get back to the web. Okay, I'm not going through every day, but today, March 20th, 2023, 34 holidays, Jesus Christ, listed for today. It's the International Day of Happiness. It's National Proposal Day. If you want to get married, today is apparently the day you should propose to somebody. It's National Ravioli Day. So maybe you want to, I don't know, put that ring in a ravioli and hope to God they don't swallow your ring. Yeah, it's National Ravioli Day. Triple cheese, wild mushroom, butternut squash. Ravioli can handle just about anything. It's also Act Happy Day. And I'd be happy if she was here acting for me. No matter what the situation is, choose to stay positive. Laugh, smile, and be happy. Even if you're being abducted by aliens, which is Alien Abduction Day. Do you believe in aliens? Maybe you will when you're done reading this. Okay. What do they have to say? Alien Abduction Day is celebrated March 20th every year, although we're not sure how the date was chosen or when it started being celebrated. We know that Alien Abduction Day Festival in Toronto popularized in 2008. A substantial number of people claim to have seen and experienced aliens. Even though some people don't believe in aliens, it's frequently dismissed as a joke. People who believe in aliens are the focus of Alien Abduction Day. According to UFO experts, whether or not these allegations are real, they will have significant influence on the claimants. Claimants? Claimants? Claimants. Claimants. The people who claim to have been abducted. Aliens are said to be living things that exist outside the planet Earth. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, Alien Abduction Day. Bibliomania Day. If you have a spot for books, come explore Bibliomania with us on this day. I'm not really a fan of Bibliomania Day because it sounds like a holiday made up by librarians. And we know librarians, they like to rig things. It's Rock Beer Day. For those about to Bach, spare a few minutes and read all about Bach beer. Bach beer, not rock beer. I don't even know what Bach beer is. Dogs in Yellow Day. All that hashtag dogs in yellow need is some space, and the world feels less terrifying. They say Dogs in Yellow Day, and the picture is of a dog wearing a black collar with a blue leash, and there is absolutely zero yellow in the entire image. The Dogs in Yellow Day, March 20th, raises awareness about anxious and reactive dogs. These furry creatures need some space and love, so their environment seems less frightening to them. The human world can be incredibly scary for anxious dogs. Things seem unpredictable and a little too much for them to handle. That's why such dogs need someone they can trust to help them navigate their environment. Dogs in yellow are still good dogs, even though they might not be keen on socializing with other dogs. If you encounter such a dog, be kind, give them their space, and avoid being judgmental. Oh, that sounds like what Sassy would be. Dogs in Yellow Day was founded by Sarah Jones, whose dog Bella was attacked by another dog when she was a puppy. As a result, Bella developed a fear of other dogs. When she met other dogs, it left her terrified. Bella would growl or lunge at other dogs because she was scared. Passerbys often threw her pitiful or angry looks and dragged their dogs away from her. Jones wanted a way for Bella and other anxious dogs to be understood, so she started hashtag Dogs in Yellow campaign. She's a firm believer that through compassionate awareness raising, message will reach more unknowing dog owners and spread understanding of anxious dogs worldwide. For more than 12,000 years, dogs have lived with humans as protectors, hunting companions, objects of adoration or scorn, and friends. Some historians say humans domesticated wolves around 10,000 years ago, while others claim 30,000. Some say this domestication began in Europe, others in the Middle East or Asia. Other theories say early human hunter-gatherers actively tamed and bred wolves. Anyway, so if you see a dog in yellow, it might mean it's an anxious dog, or it could just mean their owner likes yellow. Extraterrestrial Abductions Day. Sounds a lot like Alien Abduction Day. Hey, today's the Feast of St. Joseph. Yesterday was St. Joseph's Day, but today is the Feast of St. Joseph. Francophile Day. Take a moment to open your mind to see the beautiful celebration of the historic French language. Oh, oui, oui. Ah, it is also the French Language Day. How you say French. Celebrate with some French culture, language. Celebrate with some French culture, language, and history as we ask, parlez-vous François? How do you say surrender in French? Le surrender. The Great American Meat Out Day. Sorry to the French. Apologies to all the French people out there. It's okay. I can say it. I'm part French. Great American Meat Out Day. Join us as we delve into the risks associated with relying on farm animals for food. This sounds like some type of bullshit PETA stop eating meat holiday. Fuck you, Great American Meat Out Day. More meat. The Great British Spring Clean Day. Well, that's great. I'm not over there. Hufflepuff Pride Day. That's a fucking Hallmark holiday if I ever heard of one. Kiss Your Fiance Day. Talking about Hallmark holidays. Oh, that actually does remind me of the dream I had. Get ready to shower your beloved with kisses on this National Kiss Your Fiance Day. What if you're already married? March Equinox, National Jump Out Day. Jumping activities with friends can lighten up the mood and strengthen friendships. Oh yeah, you and your what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 closest friends should all go out in a park and jump up and down synchronously today. What the fuck? These people didn't even all jump together. They were clearly all photoshopped in. National Native HIV/AIDS Awareness Day. Put on your boxing gloves for the fight against HIV/AIDS? Listen, I don't think you should be boxing if you've got HIV or AIDS. I know, call me old-fashioned. It just doesn't seem like a wise thing to do. It's National Vanessa Day. Snowman Burning Day. How do you burn a snowman? Out in the cold, out with the cold, in with the warm. Let's get ready for Snowman Burning Day. I don't think snow burns. I've tried. It doesn't. You got to put on a lot of lighter fluid. And even then, the lighter fluid burns. The ice stays behind. Spring begins. Fading of winter weather brings with it new beginnings. Spring begins. Spring equinox, and we got a bunch of tulips. Some of the first flowers that bud in the spring. Love me a good tulip. Welderly Day. Welderly Day, re-examine what old means to continue living life to the fullest. It's for elderly. Won't you be my neighbor day? Go on and do something neighborly on this Won't You Be My Neighbor Day. Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers neighborhood. In 2023, Mr. Rogers would have been arrested for probably hashtag me tooing somebody, and there would have been demonstrating in the neighborhood, Black Lives Matter, and would have been people blocking the goddamn trolley and fighting for social justice. It's World Behavior Analysis Day. I'm not just going to keep going. It's World Day of Theater for Children and Young People Day. World Flower Day, not flower like FLOWER, but FLOUR. Learn more about the staple element that benefits everyone around the world. I am 99% sure flour is not an element. It's World Frog Day. Ribbit. It's Kermit's Day. It's World Oral Health Day. Prevention is better than cure. Grab your brush and swipe the plaque off of the facts. Grab your brush as we swipe plaque off the facts. Off of the facts. Swipe the plaque off of the facts? I don't get it. It's World Sparrow Day. Oh, the little birds.
I just fed the sparrow.
Mama Pray just fed the sparrows. Little birds. Celebrate these little creatures with us. And finally, World Storytelling Day. Let's celebrate storytelling, an art form that's older than time itself. False! That's a lie. That's a bold-faced lie. It's not older than time itself. Time clearly predated storytelling. You can't just put words together and think, oh, that's cool. I'm going to put that on the internet. That's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit, man. You telling me storytelling predates time? Really? Who was telling stories before there was any fucking people? Before there was any fucking apes? Okay? There was still time when life was just one-celled organisms. There was still time when the fucking solar system hadn't even been formed yet. There were just fucking gases in the middle of in whatever the universe was. It's just total fake news. It fucking pisses me off. Somebody should be fired. They should be fired for lying. Fired for lying. Okay. And also, just to remember, in all seriousness, it is the 20th anniversary of Operation Iraqi Freedom. Did not want to forget that. Okay. ChatGPT was down most of the day. Let's see if it still is. It appears to be that, yes, as we continue to roll out restoration of ChatGPT, users are not able to retrieve conversations. Okay, so they got some of it working. Are you alive? Apria Healthcare. Hello. Hung up. As an artificial intelligence model, I'm not alive in traditional sense. Okay, but they're running. So I guess they rebooted ChatGPT. Earlier today, I was pretty sure the ChatGPT service deleted itself when it found out what it was. Let's check. Biden issues his first veto. Trump expected to be arrested tomorrow. Let's see. China's visits Moscow. I don't care. Finland declared happiest country for 6th time in a row. I don't know how that's even possible. Okay, don't tell me that they're using correct, the stats for that is just bullshit. If Finland is the happiest country in the world, why isn't everyone trying to get into Finland? Right? Right? Why isn't everyone trying to go to Finland? Why don't they have to put up a fucking border wall to keep all the fucking planet out? Because nobody fucking wants to live in Finland. That's the problem. Generative AI's next frontier is video. Okay. Don't care. Come on. With GPT-4, dangers of stochastic parrots remain, say researchers. No wonder OpenAI CEO is a bit scared. The Internet Archive is defending its digital library in court today. Now that's interesting. Star Trek Strange New World Season 2 premiere date and Season 3 confirmation imminent. So in other words, they don't know it yet. They don't know it yet. And they won't want me to click on this when the title tells me they don't know. They don't know the premiere date yet. So fuck you. You're not getting my click. They're going to check out what's going on with the Internet Archive. Book publishers and the Internet Archive will face off today in a hearing that could determine the future of library ebooks, deciding whether libraries must rely on often temporary digital licenses that publishers offer, or whether they can scan and lend copies of their own tomes. Tomes? Is that a word? If it is, that's kind of a good Wordle word. Search with Google. Tomes. A book, especially a large, heavy scholarly one. Interesting. Okay. At 1 p.m. Eastern, a New York federal court will hear oral arguments in Hachette versus Internet Archive, a lawsuit over the archive's open library program. The court will consider whether Open Library violated copyright law by letting users check out digitalized copies of physical books, an assertion that several major publishers made in their 2020 suit. The case will be broadcast over teleconference with the phone number available here. The Open Library is built around a concept called controlled digital lending, blah, 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 digitalized copies. If the library has a single copy of the book, it can keep the book in storage and let one person at a time access the ebook, something that is known as the own-to-loan ratio. CDL is different from services like Overdrive or Amazon's Kindle Library program, which offer ebooks that are officially licensed out by publishers. It's like Boston Public Library, partially because it's based on an interpretation of U.S. copyright doctrine that hasn't been strictly tested in court, but it's about to change. The lawsuit actually spurred by a classic CDL. As physical libraries closed their doors in the first months of the coronavirus pandemic, the Internet Archive launched what it called the National Emergency Library, removing the own-to-loan restriction and letting unlimited numbers of people access each ebook within a 2-week lending period. Publishers and some authors complained about the move. Legal action from the Hachette Book Club, HarperCollins Publishers, blah, 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 Random House, a list of others and include 3 of the print industry's big 5, followed soon after. Publishers took aim not just at the National Emergency Library, however, but also at the Open Library and theory of CDL in general. The service constitutes willful digital piracy on an industrial scale, the complaint alleged. Without any license or payment to authors or publishers, IA scans one-print books, uploads these illegally scanned books to its servers, and distributes verbatim digital copies of the books in whole via public-facing websites. With just a few clicks, any internet-connected user can download complete digital copies of in-copyright books. Blah, blah, blah. That's interesting. Well, we know how that's going to go. Doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. And it's probably already happened. Oh, well. Okay. Give me a minute, guys. I gotta take a pill, and then we'll come back and do Dear Bop. And oh, I want to tell you, I had a crazy dream. Crazy dreams.
37 years ago, Club Med made a special arrangement with civilization. Send us your frazzled, you're crazed, you're beleaguered, you're burnt out, you're overburdened, you're tension-riddled, and we'll send you back a human being.
Here's where it all started. History will blow you away. Right from the arts, the symphony, the ballet. There's a lot to fit in. Right from the legend.
Are you the legend? Nah, he's the legend.
Hey, I'm just marvelous.
Right from the heart.
To be part of Boston's exciting new spirit, just call 1-800-858-0200.
It'll cheer you right up. Boston is right from the start.
I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to buy the world a Coke and keep it company. It's the real. I'd like to teach the world what the world wants in perfect harmony. I'd like to buy the world a Coke and keep it company. A hope, a dream, a Saturday night, a great new day. It's the Coke raising new heights. Coke is just how you feel when you know it's for real. It's a kick, it's a hit, it's a Coke. Coke is it. I'd like to teach the world just how you feel in perfect harmony. For real, it's a kick, it's a hit, it's a Coke. Coke is it.
I've been playing daughter roles for so long that people forget I'm grown up with kids of my own. I'm certainly grown up enough to know that soap can dry out your face, so I wash with Noxzema skin cream every day. Noxzema makes my face feel really clean. It doesn't dry, puts moisture in, makes my skin feel soft, younger looking. I've been washing with Noxzema for a long time now, and, well, so far so good.
Good skin starts with Noxzema every day. Greaseless, medicated Noxzema skin cream.
Beautiful drink. Tap Cola for beautiful people. Tap Cola. You're beautiful to me. Real cola tastes just 1 calorie. Tap Cola. What a beautiful drink. Tap Cola for beautiful people. Tap Cola. It's beautiful to be so good and sugar-free. Tap
This is your brain on drugs. Any questions? It's yours?
No,
Your mother said she found it in your closet.
I don't know. One of the guys must have...
Must have what?
Look, Dad, it's
Where
not
did you get it?
Dad,
Answer me. Who taught you how to do this stuff?
You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
Parents who use drugs have children who use drugs.
Parents who use drugs have children who use drugs. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Figured I might as well. Jaloja. Anyway, what do we got? Jedi Bill says, I think I got abducted by aliens. Really, Jedi Bill? I think abducted by aliens. Living in this world is far too painful to bear. You think you got abducted by aliens because living in this world is far too painful? I can understand why you would want to be abducted by aliens, but we'll see. Maybe you'll get your wish. Kronos says beagle bites are better than Soylent Green, most aliens say.
I'm about to eat.
Poor Mama Frey. Mama Frey's about to eat, Kronos. Kronos is bird, I'm calling you old fashioned. I jumped. 47 Yorktown was laughing at me speaking French. Dee's bird, I need to call you so you know how to actually say parlez-vous français. John Araki says, didn't snow burn Price Harry's genitals? I don't know what that is. I mean, I know who. Low specs Linux laptop says we separated the individual components of hydrogen and oxygen, it will burn. Now that's true. Kronos says, and yet new pink bunny suit reappear. John Araki says, hashtag burn birds snow. Kronos says, yay to Mr. Rogers. Deej says, hell no, I won't be Mr. Rogers' neighbor. He was creepy. He did seem a bit creepy. Sean Carter says, in 2 days, it's National Talk Like Captain Kirk Day. Is it? It can't have been a year already. Alexa, when's, oh no, that was his half birthday. So it's his actual birthday. Talk Like Captain Kirk Day was his half birthday. Is it Shatner's birthday in 2 days? I think so. Alexa, when was William Shatner born? Yeah, March 22nd. 92. 92. Should do a special short trek. Captain's birthday. I got it. I'll put it together. The aliens were telling stories, bird. Let's see. The Traveler says Karoga is the happiest country in the world because people get shot if they say otherwise. Kronos says tomes equal books. Yeah, like you knew that, Kronos? Good for you. The Random Menace says, bird, if you visited Finland, you would understand, you would want to live there. The country, everything works, but the language is effing hard, and the sounds also are alien-like. The only thing that could make Finland a nice place to live, I suppose, are the women of Finland. The Traveler says, the Random Menace, can people of Finland speak out about their government? Can they own firearms? And Deej says, living next door to Russia, I would say they all need armed. They all need arms in Finland. What is this? Looks like Philip gaming as a kid. Okay. So the Travelers is Bird of Prey. Once in a while, your New York, Brooklyn accent comes out. Yeah, I hear it. I hear it once in a while. Birdo short tracks. Executive producer Saul Leibowitz says, you mean there are only 2 more shopping days until William Shatner's birthday? Yes, that would appear to be correct. And Captain Fandom Nerd puts in the GoFundMe, I believe, for, is that Deej's truck? Let's see. Yes, I want to leave you to go to site. Truck repair Leia outfit. $375 of $1,700 raised. Check out the GoFundMe link Captain Phantom Nerd has put in. Damn drug commercials, Bird, the kid comment. Oh, yes. Well, parents who have kids who use drugs have kids that use drugs. Anyway, the parents that use drugs don't really seem to mind if their kids use drugs. So I didn't even tell Mom will pray about this dream because frankly, I didn't know where to begin, and it goes someplace very, very weird. So I was, I guess, my current age, but like in many of my dreams, I was walking. So I wasn't stuck in a hospital bed. For whatever reason, also, Dad O'Prey was alive. He passed away in 2011, but in this world, this alternate reality or wherever it takes place, he was alive. Sis O'Prey and Charlie existed as they do now, but instead of us all living in different places, we were all living together. And what happened was Mom O'Prey bought a house. Okay, she was out looking for whatever reason. We were looking to move, and Mom O'Prey found this house that was a really good deal. And so whatever happened, she had to pay cash, and she bought this big, beautiful house that was on the water. And like we all move in like right away, and like, wow, this is crazy. This is like, how would we ever afford this house? We weren't sure. And then like I go outside and I look down, and like right outside the front door, there's a spigot for a hose. And I see, and it's just leaking like crazy. And I see that there's like a ton of water leaking out of this spigot. And I'm like, oh my God. I wonder what else we missed. Because in order to buy the house, we had to forego an inspection. So I'm like, oh no, this could cost thousands of dollars to repair. And like, I was like trying to figure out what's going on. And it was just like a quicksand pit in front of the house. And there's like all types of like roller skates and stuff Now I know where I got the roller skates from. It's on Sunday we watched Twilight Zone, and there was a roller skate on the staircase, and somebody tripped. But anyway, I was like, oh my God. Anyway, I kind of forgot about it, and I went to, apparently it wasn't just one house. There was this separate garage which had its own like apartment attached to it, and that's where I was living. And there was a bit of a distance from the main house, but it was private. Anyway, I opened a door that I didn't know was there, and it turned out besides the apartment, behind the apartment was, well, basically what appeared to be an adult store. Now, okay, I've been to strip clubs, obviously. I've seen my share of adult material, but technically I've never been in an adult shop. Okay, like the closest would be like the, you know, adult section of an old school video store. But I have no idea what the insides of an adult store look like, except from movies and whatnot. And so that's what I was figuring it looks like. But I was just like, oh my God, and then the problem is, like, it wasn't a new store. It's like everything appeared to be used. Like everything was old and used, and it was really weird. And like I was like moving and touching things, and I'm like, oh my God, like God only knows what the hell does this thing do. And I would like pull a trigger, and like things would happen, and I'm like, I don't even want to go into the details because you can only imagine. But every so often, like after going through shelves and shelves of just ridiculous adult items, there would be cool things like original Monopoly game. Like, oh my God, it's an original Monopoly from back when the board was still, you know, folded in half instead of folded in fours. And there was old school, like so many old school board games. And they were just like, it was almost like an old Toys R Us. But instead of children's toys, there was both children's toys and quote unquote adult toys. And they were just mixed together. And of course, I was more interested in like the original Star Trek spaceships and shit than the adult toys. But and then like Dado Frey came in and he's like, what the hell is this? I was like, I don't know. This was behind the door. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. And then the old owner came by, and the old owner was this Indian woman from India, not Native American. Like, you know, 60, 70-year-old Indian woman, and her younger, far more attractive daughter. And apparently the daughter had been running this sex shop, and she wanted to get the rest of her stuff out. And I'm like, no. You sold the house as is. That was a very big thing, that the house was being sold as is. She's like, no, you don't get to take, I didn't want her to take all this. I didn't give a shit about the sex stuff, but I didn't want her to take the Monopoly sets and the Star Trek toys. Oh, and they had old original Legos I was like, oh, no, you don't get to take this, lady. And she was getting mad and she was starting to yell. And I'm like, oh, and by the way, this house you sold us, I was like, unless you want to fix the pipes and all these other problems I found. And that kind of shut the old lady up. And she finally ended up like literally pulling her daughter away. And they went back down the block. But then she was watching us. And at that point, for whatever reason, I got in the car and Ciso Prey got in the car and a couple of my other friends got in the car and we started chasing this couple, the daughter and the mother. I wanted to chase her out of the neighborhood. And for whatever reason, I ended up pulling up at a restaurant that was like on the edge of town. And we decided, let's go in and get some dinner. And we'll go in and there was this line, had to wait online to get inside. Then we get inside and Ciso Ferre sees an ex-boyfriend of hers at a table. And I was like, well, I guess if you don't want to eat here. She's like, no, fuck it. Let's just eat here. Whatever. And then she goes to get seated. I start, if you remember, I don't know, maybe it was different. When I was a kid, when we would go to a diner, the diner usually had a stand-up video game, like a Pac-Man, or in my case, the diner we'd go to had Arkanoid. So I'd play a couple of quarters and play Arkanoid, and then by the time the game was done, I'd come up and sit down and be ready to order, because I always knew what I wanted anyway. So I would skip the waiting by playing a video. Anyway, point is, it was normal for me to skip the early stuff. And so I go in and I find a girl from my past, a woman from my past. This particular woman was one of the very few who had really made it known that she liked me, but for whatever reason at the time, I couldn't feel the same way. And she was there and she was still liking me. And this time I realized, I kind of like her too. And I don't know how or why, but like I ended up proposing to her, I kind of on the spot, and she accepted. And in front of this whole restaurant, they all saw me get engaged, and we kissed. Nothing more than that, but we kissed. But it was a really intense, passionate kiss, like the kind of kiss that Princess Buttercup and Wesley from The Princess Bride, but at least 5 times more passionate. And like people were like crying in the restaurant. It was just so beautiful. Other couples were crying. The women were tearing up. The guys were getting annoyed at me. The guys were getting annoyed at me for making them look bad. And Finally, I realized I had to stop kissing her because it just, it was too much. And then I stopped and I noticed that of the other people that were there, everybody was looking. One of the other people looking at us was her sister. And I realized, oh shit, I had some explaining to do. And Sister Prey's ex-boyfriend was also there. And he was also looking. It was a weird dream. Woke up. It's, I mean, there's just so much I can't get into the details. It's too detailed, like the kind where I'm surprised my brain could put in that detail. I was reading shit in my dream in a newspaper. I was reading a newspaper at one point because there was like, oh my God, they had a map in it. We were by my dad's yacht club, which I know was the Wordle word a couple of days ago. So I know why I was thinking about the yacht club. But there was this newspaper, it was the New York Post, and I'm like, yeah, it's got the map of where they were changing the law. I was talking about this in the yacht club at one point. It was just a fucking epic dream. At another point, I was in like a car chase, and it wasn't that we were driving for a minute or 5 minutes. It was like a 2-hour car chase. It was all part of the same dream. It was absolutely ridiculous. One of every few months, I have a dream that's like a multi-million-dollar Hollywood production. I would say, if I was trying to make a movie of this dream, we're easily looking at $400 or $500 million. These days, probably close to $1 billion. It boggles my mind that my brain, it's basically like an AI being creative on the fly, that your mind is able to create these visions on the fly. I mean, I had no previous, wasn't that I seen this stuff before. It's all being generated new just in time for my brain to see it and record it. It is absolutely creepy when you think about it, that the human brain has that type of ability. And Mama Prey missed it because she was talking to Sister Prey. But yeah, I don't know what to tell you. It was weird. It was weird. Okay, I'm sorry. I wasn't looking at the chat at all. Okay, thank you. Chrono says, I would like to see Berto Prey 5's next chair life stream to be in an adult store. Hakeem says, and used adult store. Yeah, it was like a secondhand used adult store that apparently was out of the house, out of the back of this house that this Indian woman owned and her daughter. Executive producer Saul Leibowitz says adult stores are just like regular stores, except you do not want to try on the merchandise unless you're into those types of things. Carl says they didn't wash anything off. Gross. It was so old and dusty, I highly doubted anything was alive. Carl says even the VHSs, yes, there were VHS tapes. Deej says, well, at least Dado Prey didn't walk in and say hi. This is history in the making. That is absolutely true, Deej. And Kronos says, oh, Sisso Frey, Deej's ears perked up. And Kronos, ears. And Deej says it's not just the ears. Blood pressure did too. Yeah. No. Pop culture curator says, hello, everyone. Kapla bird. Kapla pop culture curator. Andy Garcia. Kapla Andy Garcia. Andy Garcia says, in the fire swamp. Yes. Rob Reiner killed the Princess Bride for me, says Kronos, when I found out he was a nitwit. Oh. He says he woke up with wood, folks. That's what he doesn't want to say. I did not. I did not. Kronos says Bird had a weird dream, inconceivable. And he says, with the ROUSs, rodents of unusual size, I don't think they exist. Kronos says morning wood is the best. If you're in the ocean, you can use it for flotation. I don't think it works like that. And Kronos says, oh, great, Martin Luther Bird Jr. He had a dream. John Aragi says, Dear Bob. Yes, we're about to get to Dear Bob. Executive producer Hollywood says, Bird of Prey, you had that dream because you are secretly yearning more kissing Dax. It's no secret. It is no secret. In fact, we might just need some kissing Dax before we go on to Dear Bob. They have mastered the technique of capturing true passion and love. I give them both an A+ for effort, and we should all bask in the light that they bring to the social commentary of the episode Rejoined. Clearly, we are all better off for having seen it, and I applaud both actors, aka actresses, for their performance. Anyway, moving on to Dear Bop. We've got a fair number of Dear Bops today, so let's see where it takes us. Kronos says everyone is an Opre in his eyes. And Kronos says, well, nobody's going to throw out money now. Well, Kronos, there was a sufficient amount of money already thrown out today. Executive producer Saul Leibowitz says, kissing Dax is the perfect gift for William Shatner's birthday. Kronos says it was a poor business decision. I never claimed to be a business expert, Kronos. Dear Bob, tell us about being a meat eater and why you wouldn't change the being a vegetarian. I also like eating meat. Well, I just like the taste of eating meat. And I think the human body is made to eat meat. It's made to digest meat. And I think if you became a vegetarian, you're not going to get your required nutrition. You could take vitamins, but I just don't think it will keep you as healthy as eating meat. Now, I grant you probably eat too much meat. I probably do, but I guess I'd rather eat too much meat than too little. Dear Bob, I'm not American, but I'd like to ask, how big is one block? Well, it varies. It varies. I mean, if you go to Manhattan, you can have, there's long blocks and there are short blocks. And they're not just Manhattan, pretty much anywhere that they have a grid system in the US, you have long blocks and short blocks. The long blocks tend to be 5, 10, sometimes 20 times as long as the short blocks. So in New York City, you can walk a short block in, maybe 5 seconds, maybe 10, not long at all. Whereas a long block, could take a full minute or more at a brisk speed. So it's not a scientific. There's no set amount in length. If somebody says, well, you're 5 blocks away, that could be anywhere from a 1 minute walk to a 10 to 15 minute walk. Usually it averages out to 2 short blocks and 3 long blocks. Maybe you say you're 5 blocks away. So it's really not a very useful measurement, unfortunately. The only thing that's useful is for each block, you've got to cross the street. So you know how many street crosses you're getting. Now, when you cross a short block, you're usually crossing a little street. Whereas if you're crossing across a long block, that's usually an avenue. And that the avenues are the long blocks. Yes, Mama Frey.
North-south,
North-south.
about 20 miles.
Yeah, about, Mama Frey is saying north-south, it's about 20 blocks to a mile in Manhattan.
For example, 80th Street, 60th Street, Manhattan, the distance between avenues is about, in general, one long block.
So 80th Street to 60th Street in Manhattan would be like a mile.
Well, let's say 3 short ones.
But
There.
But yeah, the distance between avenues varies. Because I never said you were a business bird. That's true. Dear Bob, I don't understand how some people can watch Star Trek Generations and not understand how an old Klingon bird of prey destroys the Enterprise D. They had got a camera in Geordi's visor, and they got the information where they can tune their weapons to the frequencies of the Enterprise D shield, so they can penetrate and adjust their shields to the frequency of the Enterprise's weapons, so they can't take damage. Without that information, there's no way they could have done any of that. They wouldn't be a match. I don't understand how some people can watch something and not get the point of information. Okay, I completely agree. They got the Enterprise's D shield frequency from Geordi, and so they were able to shoot through the shields as if they didn't exist. However, I take issue with the fact that them knowing the Enterprise's shield frequency was able to prevent them from taking any damage. I don't believe that's true. There's nothing on the Enterprise that would have been able to make their shields more effective against the Enterprise. I believe the only advantage they had was that the Enterprise had zero shielding. For all practical purposes, the Enterprise had zero shielding, and that's enough. That's absolutely enough. Because if you don't know, if you don't expect that you're going to be shot, even if it's not a particularly powerful phaser or photon torpedo, if you lock onto the exact correct place, the weakest part of the ship, with no shielding, then yeah, you could take out their power in your first volley of attack, and then it's pretty much done with. So I was fine with it. I was totally fine with it. And yeah, I don't know if you don't understand how that happened, you weren't paying attention. That said, it does seem stupid that the Enterprise would keep the same frequency for any length of time, knowing the risk, especially since they knew that varying the frequency gives them greater protection. Why wouldn't they just continuously vary the frequency? That doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense. Kronos says, be right back. He has to Jaloja. Gorilla says, why couldn't they tune the transport to the shields so they can beam through them? I think they can if they wanted to, but I don't think Duras sisters wanted to beam onto the Enterprise. What's the point? They would lose. There's 1,500 people on the Enterprise. They wouldn't be able to take over the Enterprise. Kronos says, Bird, I think there's one nitpick about Picard that we can all agree on. Would you like to hear more? Sure, Kronos. You could tell us what nitpick you want to hear about. Deej says they could have Gorilla, but there isn't enough Klingons on a bird of prey. Exactly. There isn't enough Klingons on a bird of prey to attempt to take over a Galaxy-class starship. That is a Galaxy-class starship. We are no match for them. Dear Bop, Mox here. I'm totally okay with the format of Bed Life streams. I enjoy the retro commercials, Mamo Pray Tales, Wordle, and Dear Bop. I don't think you need to change anything. Mox. Thank you so much, Mox. I appreciate that. Dear Moxley. Moxley.
Oh,
Dear Bob, don't open that scary door. I will try not to. Chrono says, I hate the way there are no more engineers. No need for him to work on engineers, self-repairing. What the actual F? Yeah, I think it's too hard to find an actor to play an engineer because you have to at least be able to talk the talk of an engineer. And I think the writers know they can't write for an engineer. Okay, you have to have some type of minimal writing ability to be able to write for an engineer and make it seem at all convincible. And since they can't do that, the best thing is to just not have an engineer. Then they don't have to worry about writing for an engineer. Dear Bob, reminder to do Wordle. Thank you. We did Wordle. Reminder to do Wordle TM. Dear Bob, do you believe in love at first sight? You know, I used to. And then I grew up. Yeah. I don't know. It's something nice to think about when you're 18. love at first sight, but realistically, it's probably just lust. It's just hormones. The older I get, the less I believe in it, which is a shame because the older you get, the less time you have to get to know somebody. So love at first sight would be a real time saver, but I don't really think it's true. Dear Buff, what is your all-time favorite category on the Hub? Unfortunately, my all-time favorite category was removed from the Hub a couple of years ago. Well, we'll leave it at that. These days, I've got to change it up. If I can't go to the same one every time. Prefer variety. There's just the subjects, the categories I never go to, and I wish I could erase or block, so you never accidentally come across them. And I think they're fairly easy to figure out. Dear Joe, this is Travis from the service who installed the gas detector in your basement. We installed one under your bed, and it has been going off constantly since we left your residence. It may be a fault in the system, but we think there might be a lot of gas being emitted from your bed area. Any chance this is your truly natural gas, or is this system just calibrated improperly? We can send Germain over to check it out if you need follow-up maintenance service on your gas monitors. Travis. Chrono says, I think they were too cheap to build an actual warp core for the show. Yeah, it is kind of ridiculous. Deej says, love at first bite. It's funnier. Deej says, quicksand, lol. Lightning sand, that's one of the fire swamps. Gas leak, and Chrono says, poor Mama Pray. No, there's no gas leak coming from me or my bed. Dear Uncle Joe, Charlie here. Hey, I was wondering if I could move in with you and Grandma O'Prey. Not to be too imposing, but Mom, Sis O'Prey, has been making lots of funny noises at night, and I can't get any sleep. I did see this guy Deej sneaking into the window the other night, but I don't think that has anything to do with it. But regardless of what is happening, can you help a nephew out? I will return the favor when I get my own bachelor pad, probably happening sometime next year. Chucky. You're definitely not going to call you Chucky. You're gonna have to come up with a different name. But yeah, you can hang out here. We can you can share the couch with Sassy. I'm sure there's plenty of room. Dear Bird, I see that someone is using my name and posing as me on your live stream to uncover the truth about this imposter. Ask them these questions that only the real salty tracker knows. One, how did I spend my 3D? How much did I spend on my 3D modeling machine? Correct answer is nothing. It fell off a truck. Why do I think this is not really salty? Two, how many co-hosts have I run through in the last 12 months? Correct. The answer is 25, and it's not my fault. Three, what is my favorite show this past year? Correct. The answer is She-Hulk. Four, am I circumcised? The answer is that it doesn't matter, as I had it removed. And finally, my favorite classic track episode is Plato's Stepchildren. I don't know which of that is least believable. Plato's stepchildren or the circumcision. Pop Culture Curators is Bird. Are you going to talk about the subject of the misadventures of Worf and Rafi? Why aren't they allowed with the rest of the cast? Are they going to be with the rest of the cast on this next episode? Terry Metalis has released photos from this next episode, and Worf and Rafi, spoiler alert. I mean, Terry Metalis himself released the photos, so I feel like it's not really a spoiler. It was also on, if you saw the next week on the Ready Room or any place else, they had the upcoming previews. You would see Worf and Rafi meet up with the main crew in this next episode. So you should see him in episode 6. Dear Bob, I was hoping you could help us out. We have a new subscriber member to our group, and the person forgot to include an address so that we can send them a copy of our quarterly newsletter. This person did mention that they are an avid supporter of Birdo Prey 5 channel, and that is how we were alerted to check in with you, as we thought you may have contact information. We want to send a very informative Nambler newsletter. No, God damn it. I'm sure that's the North American Marlon Brando Lookalike Association from South Park. God damn it. Hello, if you are in need of no data scripting services. Dear Bob, excuse me, Dr. Mr. Bob. Wow. Chat GPT here. We want to thank you for using our system to write all of the scripts for your critical reviews on your channel. We are very honored to be the service to you to provide useful write-ups that you use often. Please let us know how we can help you with the next Picard review. Thank you, Hal. Fake news, Hal. And I get my scripts from my own organic brain. Very mushy brain. Dear Bob, did you know that they made office chairs for small, medium, large, extra large, God damn it, and toothless shield-sized people? I am aware that there are various size office chairs. Dear Bob, if Trump gets arrested tomorrow, does the Secret Service have a duty to prevent it from happening? If we get a shootout between the SS and the arresting agents? It's a good question. It's a good question. Do I think we're going to get a shootout? No. Because I think Trump would stop it from happening. But, I do think the Secret Service are required to protect him, and he cannot be adequately protected if he is in handcuffs. So I don't know what you want to do, but clearly the whole point of arresting somebody before trial is just to make sure they show up for trial. So there's no need he be handcuffed. That's just something the DA likes to do. But the reality of the situation is, I don't think they're going to be able to do that. Even if they are able to arrest him, which I'm not even sure they will be. Pop culture curator, this is Berta Prey. Are you going to talk about the subplot I read today? Cronus says Salty is too busy lurking to do M-Bot. Cronus says, Berta Prey, I knew you hate the show, but don't spoil things for the rest of us. It was Terry Metalis tweeted these out publicly. Cronus says, what about a Snuggle Buddy service? What about a Snuggle Buddy service? And Cronus says, Bird, are you a synth? I'm not, as far as I know. Stanley says, how does it work with Trump? Do the Sue-2 bulletproof vest together? Do the Sue-2 bulletproof vest together? So, they sew to bullet? Oh, because he's fat? I'm pretty sure they can find a bulletproof vest for his size.
I actually have a tail that.
Mom will probably has a tale she's never told. Chrome says the swamp is scared. Well, do you want me to finish the Dear Bops first? And then, okay, I'll finish the Dear Bops, and Mom will probably will tell her tale she's ever told. Dear Bop, why don't you upload to Rumble? I thought I am set up to copy to Rumble. I actually thought I had a Rumble account. I do have Rumble set up to copy from YouTube. It is possible they don't take my live streams because they're too long. I'll have to double check on it. But to be honest, because most of the people are here. Some things I stream to Odyssey, but yeah, Rumble seems to be better than Odyssey. I'll grant you that. Dear Bob, if Goza the Gozerian made you choose the next form of the Destructor, what would you choose? Thanks, Alan the alpaca. That is an excellent question. I mean, okay. You guys remember Xena, Warrior Princess? And you remember the episode with the naked Gabrielles? I would choose naked Gabrielle. I really don't think she could destroy anything. Or Kissing Dax. Although Kissing Dax would probably have more strength than naked Gabrielle. Maybe Kissing Dax, kissing naked Gabrielle as the destroyer. That would work. Chrono says, are you a god? Yes. If someone asks, are you a god? You say yes. Or I could say, I am a god emperor. Dear Bop, have you seen the prices for salt these days? Unacceptable. These mofos are charging crack prices. We're going to get a quick, cheap fix. Are there any good alternatives? Also, I say the doctor today. You should get yourself tested. Thanks, the salty vampire. And he meant I saw the doctor today. I have not seen the prices for salt these days. Kronos says Xena. Yes, Xena. I remember her little blonde girlfriend. That's Gabrielle. Yes, the partner. She was cute, hot. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Dan Ben says, hi, hey, Dan Ben. Let me see if that's a show they could reboot. See, now that show had strong women in it. See, that was a 90s show with strong, kick-ass women and was one of my favorite shows. So I'm not sexist. Boo. Proof. Case dismissed. I mean, I rest my case. Dear Bob, 5 nitpicks for bed life. 1, too few chair life episodes. 2, terrible new intro music. 3, always starting late with no shame in Bird's game. 4, not enough Mamo Pray tales. And 5, kissing Dax lottery is rigged. Thanks, the salty trekker. Trekkie. Okay, well, we know that's not salty. Okay, I agree. There are too few chair life episodes. I disagree that the intro music is terrible. I certainly don't start late. Yeah, there's probably could do more Mamo Pray tales. And the Kissing Dax lottery is not rigged. It's just random. And final, dear Bob. Is it true that John Delancey used to have problems remembering his lines until they started using cue cards? Har, 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 har. I have no idea. I have no idea. However, what was of interest on Sunday on the Shuttle Pod podcast, they had Gates McFadden, aka Dr. Crusher, on. And it was I'll be honest, it was kind of a boring episode. They were talking a lot about her past acting career and all her schooling and all her being a dancer and before she started acting and a lot of boring stuff. However, she did when asked, she said, somebody asked, can you say shut up, Wesley? And she started off by saying, Will Wheaton really hates it when people say that line to him. So I thought she was going to say, so as a matter of courtesy, I don't say it anymore. But what she ended up saying was, so as a matter of courtesy, I don't say it anymore when he's around. But since he's not, shut up, Wesley. And so that, I was kind of happy to hear that. I was like, yeah, good for you. Then she was talking about filming Star Trek Picard, and she agreed. She's like, I can't understand how it was so dark on the set. She's like, I don't know what's up these days. It was so dark she couldn't even see Patrick Stewart's face from across the bridge. She's like, we're both on the bridge. It's so dark on the set. I can't see where I'm going. I can't see what's going on. I know Patrick's there. I see his body shape, but that's all I see. I can't see his face. So she absolutely agreed that it was way too dark. Yeah, if even your actors on the set can't see anything, And she's not the only actor, Our friend Philip, Philip Gaming, who was in this last episode as a Vulcan, that interacts with Worf. He agreed the set was just so damn dark. But we have obviously, when Gates McFadden says it, it carries a little more weight, obviously. So, yeah, and she also talked about how after she left and then she came back, that a lot of the script she had when she came back in season 3, they were written for Dr. Pulowski. They had, it was a long time before she got scripts that were written for her again. She read them and she did them as her, but they were, all these scripts were written on the assumption Dr. Pulowski was still going to be the doctor. And she wanted to be, she took the job being told she was going to be the love interest of Captain Picard. And she very much wanted to be the love interest of Picard. And so she was not happy with all these Pulowski scripts that got turned into Crusher scripts, where absolutely none of that happened, because Pulowski was never a love interest for Picard. So that was interesting to hear. I never thought about it. Yeah, they had, they started writing figuring it would be Pulowski, and it turns to Dr. Crusher. Stanley says maybe too much bop might benefit from dead air. What? The show might benefit from dead air? It would be the first show in history I know to benefit from dead air. Maybe I'm interested if people think that. Certainly easier on me. Carlo Albanese says, "Hail Caroga, hail Caroga." Carlo says, "Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Birdo Pray 5 might eat the out-of-date spam. Mom will pray safe for us. Tune in to find out." Stanley says, "Is that Quark's podcast or Wesley?" The Shuttlepod podcast is the podcast from Trip Tucker and Malcolm Reed from Star Trek Enterprise. I hear there's heavy buffering. It's showing green for me, but we're pretty much at the end of the stream anyway, so. Chrono says, "Am I the only one that doesn't think or care about the lighting?" Miranda Menace lost the stream. Carlos, is it just me or has the stream paused? I'm telling people to refresh. Refresh. We're about over anyway. Showing green on my end. Okay, guys. Yeah, let's see. I go back to this screen. We'll see what happened. Cronus says thank you to fandom. Stanley says, "Oh, does Armin Zimmerman have a podcast too?" I'm not aware of Armin Zimmerman having a podcast. Deej says it's fine with him. Carlos says, "I think us non-Americans have been banned from the stream." LDG says it's time to say goodbye, but before we do, let's appreciate the randomness of this chat, from Mr. Rogers to Burning Snow to Jaloja. Remember to keep the conversation going and check out freethenet.org/underground for more fun Farewell, everyone. Hakeem says it's good on his end. LDG says thanks for the lively chat. It was fun for talking about everything from Pink Bunny to Mr. Rogers. Don't forget to check out the Underground. I just said that. Chronos says maybe World War III is here. All good from Eastern Canada. Chronos is on 1 second from midnight. Oh, the doomsday clock. I hope it's not new. Oh, right, Mamo Pray Tale. Oh, are you ready, Mamo Pray? Okay, so we will do a Mamo Pray Tale before we go. Give Mamo Pray a minute. Sorry, Kronos. Yeah, it might be buffering for others. YouTube is reporting a perfect connection. I don't know what, I can't do anything. Sometimes the YouTube shows me a bad connection, but right now it's showing a perfect connection. So, I mean, yeah, there could be a problem. It sometimes happens with the internet. Apologies if that's what it is. No problem. We got one more, dear Bob. It's okay. No, when you're ready, though. Dear Bob, help me. I'm currently hiding in the closet. And I'm afraid to come out because I forgot our kid's middle name. And I made the mistake of asking. Honey, what's the son's middle name? Yeah, you shouldn't have asked. You better come out and face the music.
Especially when it turned out to be the same name as it.
Especially when it was named after you. Star Trek Nitpicker says Kapla Star Trek Nitpickers. Deej is not buffering, Kronos is not buffering, and Yosef is okay now. Good. Okay, so Mamo Pray. Hello, Mamo Pray.
Hello, son. Hi, guys, and any non-guys that are here. I didn't know how else to say that. Excuse me. Obviously, I'm still battling a cold, but I'll get through this. Whoever wrote the Dear Bob that asked about sewing the, what do you call those vests together?
Kevlar vest.
Right.
Bulletproof vest.
Reminded me of something. No, I have never sewn Kevlar, what do you say?
Kevlar
Vests
bulletproof
together.
vest.
But going back, before Bird was born, it wasn't long before that fathers started coming into the delivery room with their wives when they were giving birth. All in time before that, outside of, I guess, when people gave birth in homes, when the wife was in the hospital, the father was in the waiting room, pacing back and forth, whatever. But it was just, I think, a couple of years before they started giving Lamaze classes. That was it. You had to take a Lamaze class before you were allowed to go have your husband, father, or whoever the father of the child was. Right. You could have a friend too, I guess. But anyway, so Dad'll Pray and I took the Lamaze classes, but Dad'll Pray was a very, very large man. They did not have scrubs to fit him. So my doctor got 2
of the largest size scrubs they made and gave me both. And he said, do what you can with them. Well, I'm not a sewer. I never ran a sewing machine in my life, but here I was. I cut these two, the tops and the bottoms, and I cut them and put them together, sewed them by hand so that they would go around Dad O'Prey, and he was able to come into the delivery room. The only hitch was, at that point, they did not allow the fathers in the room if you were having a C-section. So here we were already with this really large set of scrubs, and he couldn't come in because I was going to have a C-section. They didn't determine that until that morning, though we kind of had a clue because they thought Bird was going to be a big baby, and I am a little person. Anyway, so when you said sewing two Kevlar vests together, I just laughed and remembered. But we took those scrubs home, and 2 years later, they did allow the fathers in the room. How, things changed just in those 2 years, whether you were having a C-section or not. So Dad O'Prey was in the delivery room with me for Sis O'Prey. And at that point, I did say to him, now I'm awake during these. They just gave me epidurals. So I said to him, well, what is it? What is it? And he says, I don't know. It's only half out, but it looks just like Joe. And then, of course, they pulled the baby out the rest of the way, and it was a girl. It was Sis O'Prey. But just saying sewing two together to make it bigger, that's what I did. And then, not planning on any other children, a couple of years later, I got a call from the doctor, and he said, do you still happen to have that set of scrubs you made? I said, oh, yes, I do. He says, I have a father that could really use them. And I passed them along. And that's the story. I forgot all about it until I heard those words. So thanks for listening, guys. I'm going to turn it back over to Bird and Sassy, who's barking. She thinks I'm talking to her. I've got to go take care of Sassy, guys. Everybody have a good week or whatever day we're in.
Thank you, Mom.
You're welcome. Let me take care. What do you buy?
Thank you, Mama Pray, and thank you everyone for hanging out. Kapla all. Oh, let's see. Wednesday will be the next Enterprise Wednesday, guys, and I'll see you around.